welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be predicting the Oklahoma City Thunder's offseason. As you guys know, it ended kind of on a sour note yesterday. The refs didn't call PG's foul attempt or whatever he tried to do. He tried to jump into Rudy Gobert. The refs didn't call it, and that was basically the end of the Thunder's season. So now when you look at the Thunder, they are definitely going to have an interesting offseason. Of course, you're always going to have Westbrook. He has 5 years on his contract. Paul George is going to be a free agent. Who knows what he's going to do now? Steven Adams is still here. Carmelo Anthony is not going to leave $28 million on the table. So let's just go ahead and make that right now, because he usually does opt out on 2K, but there's no way Carmelo Anthony is going to sit there and be like, well, there's $28 million. Maybe I'll go in the offseason, someone will pay me more. He knows that no one is going to pay him more. So that's why I think that he's going to go ahead and just go ahead and opt in to that contract. He's going to make like 28, let's say that 28 mil, and he's going to opt in. So he's going to have 1 year left on his contract. Let's make sure that's right. Yes, 1 year he opted in. So Carmelo Anthony is for sure going to opt in, basically. That's what I'm trying to say to you. He's going to opt in. So Carmelo Anthony is going to be on this team. I don't see him leaving, like I said, leaving 20 mil on the $28 million on the table and just leaving it, like just gonna go ahead and just opt out. There's no way. Like, would you do that if there's $28 million? Are you gonna just opt out of that? No way. So let's just go ahead and go through the offseason. Player retirement: Dirk Nowitzki retires, and Manu Ginobili retires as well. Let's go to the league meetings, and man, do the Thunder, like, can you believe that the Thunder actually lost in the first round? You guys remember when we were just like so happy that the Thunder got Paul George? We were like, man, that team's going to be deadly. And it just didn't work out all season. They never looked very deadly like we thought they would. And I don't know, man. It's definitely crazy. I don't understand. It sucks, because I expected a lot from this Thunder team, and they never really played to expectations, I guess you could say. And this never really worked out. I don't know if Billy Donovan's fault for not being a better head coach, or I don't know. It just didn't work out, basically. And I do feel bad for the Thunder. I would say the Thunder are my second favorite team behind my Portland Trailblazers. Yes, they're in the same division, so that doesn't make a lot of sense, but I don't know. I just definitely have a nice spot for the Thunder. But man, it's just crazy that they weren't able to do anything this season, especially with the trade that they had with Paul George. Now I think we know who won the Paul George and Victor Oladipo trade, especially if the Pacers somehow, some way actually beat LeBron James tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, all right, man. That'll be insane. So I'm going to go ahead. Let me evaluate the roster. Maybe we'll make a trade. I'm not for sure who. Roberson will be back. That's cool. And then you got Abrinas, Ferguson still, Nick Singler. There's just not a lot, or Kyle Singler, not Nick Singler. There's just not a lot you can do, but I'm definitely going to try to make something happen. All right, guys. So when you look at this team, let's take a look, man. They really don't have a lot they can do. Negative 49 mil in cap space. So nothing they can really do in the cap situation. Westbrook, Roberson, Abrinas, Carmelo Anthony, Ferguson, Kyle Singler, Patterson, Steven Adams, Dakari Johnson. I mean, there's really not a lot the Thunder can do, honestly. They don't have a lot of trade assets. I mean, they could possibly trade Terrence Ferguson, Alex Abrinas, or something like that, and maybe get something else. Patterson's still going to be here. It's just not a ton that the Thunder can do, sadly. So, especially if Paul George leaves, I don't know what. I mean, this team is going to be... It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. There's going to be a lot of problems if Paul George leaves. So, that's just something we definitely need to focus on. But one thing I am going to do is I'm going to move Andre Roberson to small forward. And I'm not really sure if I'm going to re-sign Paul George or not, because this is a predictions video, and I have a gut feeling that Paul George might be back, but I have a gut feeling he won't be back as well. It's very tough. I'm not sure which direction to lean towards, and it's going to kill me for sure. But I moved Roberson to small forward. Ferguson, I mean, it's just not looking good out here, basically. So, and you go in free agency, we definitely probably can't afford like anyone. So, I mean, maybe we can get a minimum level player. Zaza might want to come to the team for $2 million. Nah, we don't want to do that. Udo, Nerlens Noel, I thought that said Gary Payton for a second. Alfred Payton, Ed Davis, JaVale McGee, no. Kyle Quinn, No. See, we just can't really afford anyone out here. You get Slaw Mesri, that don't really do anything. Al Jefferson, Fred VanVleet, that would actually be a nice pickup. Cause especially if the Raptors are gonna be high on DeLon Wright, maybe they, well, I bet they bring back Fred VanVleet too. So, like I said, not a ton that the Thunder can do out here. There's just not a lot of money they can use. I guess they can get Willie Reed as a backup center. I'll go ahead and throw that. Aaron Baines, Daniel Theus, that wouldn't be a bad idea either. I'll throw him some money. And then that's about it, guys. It's about all they can do. So now here, what should I throw an offer to Paul George? I mean, I think if I throw an offer, he will resign. I just have a feeling he won't be back, especially if they just lost in the first round like that. I think the Lakers might have a legitimate shot at Paul George. So what, you know what, guys? I'm not going to resign him. I think that he's going to go to the Lakers. That's my predictions. It's my prediction. I mean, if this was a rebuild, of course I'm resigning him, but this is a predictions video, and I think Paul George would be on the Lakers. I mean, I could sign him and then trade him to the Lakers. That way we make sure it's more accurate, maybe, because I want him to go back on the Lakers. Paul George accepts my offer, so I mean, let's do that. Ooh, let's resign Jeremy Grant too. So power forwards. Jeremy Grant. There we go. Let's go ahead and get him back as well. That he was a pretty nice piece to the Thunder this season, actually. Played pretty well for them. All right, so we got everyone back, and now we got to propose this trade of Paul George to the Lakers. I'm only gonna offer a second round pick too. I only because I think he's gonna sign there, so they agree. So basically, guys, this is what it's going to look like. This is what the Thunder team is going to look like if Paul George goes to Lakers, which I have a feeling he will. But like I said, it could go either way. He could either re-sign with the Thunder, but based off their first round success, I'm not really sure how high he would be on that. But, I mean, this is just definitely what the rotation is going to look like. I don't think we necessarily need to resign Daniel Theus, or we didn't need to sign both these guys, but I did. We have a ton of small forwards on the roster, but I mean, that's all the Thunder can really do, guys. They really can't do much. So let's go to player progression. It's sad as it is, the Oklahoma City Thunder are pretty screwed this offseason, especially if Paul George doesn't resign. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do if Paul George doesn't resign that contract. You just don't know. Like, what can the Thunder really do? I mean, Carmelo Anthony's going to have to play like his Denver Nuggets days if he decides to. If Carmelo Anthony does decide not to opt in, then I would be shocked. But, I mean, like I said, he would be leaving a ton of money on the table if he does not opt in. So, I don't know. It's definitely interesting. So, let's go to training camps. Let's see what we can do out here. Auto-generate them rookies. Untapped potential. Let's throw them to Terrence Ferguson, Alex Abrines, 25 years old, and Jeremy Grant. All right, we'll do that. And then let's look at the rotation that the 2K wants to run. All right, so I definitely got to fix this rotation up. Like, Hiller's not even going to be in the rotation, so let's see what they got. They got Russell Westbrook right now. They got Hillard, Carmelo Anthony on small forward, and Patrick Patterson at the power forward. Carmelo Anthony played the power forward all season, and that may have bothered him a little bit. So what you could do is have Andre Roberson play the shooting guard. But what I really want to do is give Alex Abrines the starting shooting guard spot, because the man can shoot threes. And I feel like that would be nice for, you know, Russell Westbrook to throw out to him. So we'll do that. Roberson is going to play the small forward, I guess. And then Carmelo Anthony is going to have to play the power forward again. Guess we're gonna have to do something a little like that. So let's go ahead. Jeremy Grant, definitely want him off the bench first. So let's go ahead and throw minutes a little bit lower, and then give Jeremy Grant his minutes. And then yeah, we'll do that. So something like this. I mean, but I really don't like Daniel Theus getting those last minutes. Let's throw it to Terrence Ferguson, I guess. Throw the minutes at Terrence Ferguson so he can get a little bit more minutes. And then, yeah, guys, so this is what we're going to be doing. Definitely interesting. So, yeah, I mean, this is something that could potentially happen next season for the Thunder. This is basically what they'd be stuck with. They got to do something like this. I expect this team to still be a playoff team if this happened. Maybe not. I don't know. But it's definitely going to be interesting for the Thunder this offseason to see what they can do. And I'm not sure, man. It's definitely going to be crazy seeing what the Thunder can do. But I'm going to go ahead and simulate to the end of the season, see how this team does, and maybe the Thunder will be all right. Welcome to the question of the day concept part of the video. I have a few questions to answer. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Andy Oberg asks, who is better, MJ or LeBron? I'm a big fan of this channel. Thank you for that second comment. I do appreciate it. And that's a hard debate, but I mean, I've never seen MJ play like live, you know. I've seen highlights of him, of course, but I've never seen him play live. So just for that reason, I'm gonna say LeBron, but just for that reason, all right? So don't disagree with me. I mean, like, don't roast me just because I have my own opinion. Who do you think? Where do you think LeBron's going to go this offseason? Well, it just depends on a lot. It depends on a lot, but I think the 76ers are a really good opportunity and a really good possibility for LeBron James to go to. And then Cowboy X Factor asks, what could we get if we trade Dwight Powell and Wesley Matthews? Well, Wesley Matthews is an expiring contract. Dwight Powell is a nice, decent player, and he has $9 million for 3 years or 2 years or something like that. I think you can get something for Wesley Matthews if someone's willing to take on his contract for one season just to help him in, for a playoff run. Dwight Powell, I'm sure you can get something for him too, but I don't know if you could trade those two together just because of how much cap space a team would be soaking in, but there's a possibility. But thank you guys so much for the questions. If you guys want me to answer your questions in the next video, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll be answering them in the next video. But go ahead and enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you guys.
So I changed my mind on the rotation. This is what we're going to be doing. So Russell Westbrook, Roberson, Carmelo Anthony's going to play his natural 3 spot. Patterson's going to be the power forward, the stretch big out there. Steven Adams at the center position, and Willie Reed is going to play right there. Jeremy Grant at the power forward position. Abrines and Terrence Ferguson are going to round up the rotation, guys. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to go ahead and simulate at the end of the season, but I probably will stop at the trade deadline, possibly. So let's just see how it goes. So hear me out on this trade. I know this seems interesting, but the Thunder need a stretch big. And Tobias Harris, he's not really necessarily a stretch big, but he does play the power forward position right now. He's got 1 year left on his contract. Is Tobias Harris really interested in re-signing with the Clippers with the stage they're in right now? If the Thunder possibly threw him Terrence Ferguson, who's a nice young player still, Abrines, who's a nice still young shooting guard as well, and the first round pick, and Patrick Patterson for Juwan Evans and Tobias Harris, would the Clippers take this? And we're asking a little too much. What if I threw in a second rounder? And they agree. All right, so we got Tobias Harris. So, like I said, how realistic is that? Can they get Tobias Harris? I think if they threw him an offer like that, it could possibly happen, but nonetheless, it just did happen. So let's go ahead and rebuild the rotation. Now we have a nice stretch power forward that can actually shoot threes. Patterson was really cold there. So this is the rotation now. You got Willie Reed, Jeremy Grant, and of course we just traded a lot of our bench away. So that kind of sucks, but I guess Hillard was stepping there, Theus, Willie Reed. Yeah, and we traded a lot of our bench away for sure. So let's go ahead and give Shelvin Mack some backup minutes, I guess. So that is going to be the rotation on the bench. The bench is not very good, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and simulate to the end of the rest of the season. We just did that. Yes, we did. Let's see how it pans out for the Thunder. End of the season, we are 45-37 facing the Houston Rockets in the first round. Let's go ahead and look at the player stats, how they panned out. Yeah, 29 for Westbrook, averaged a triple-double for the 3rd consecutive season. Carmelo Anthony with 23 points, which is very reinventive of Carmelo Anthony. Would he do something like that? It would be interesting to see if he could, but who knows. Tobias Harris was 16.5. Steven Adams with 13.5. Willie Reed 8, 7. Yeah, so not bad, I guess. But let's go ahead and see if we can beat the Houston Rockets in a 7-game series. I seriously doubt it, but you never know with 2K. We do even it up, or they do even it up. We're down 3-2. So let's see if we can. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Let's do this, and let's see if we can make a game 7 happen. All right, guys. So we're in this game pretty nicely, and we do force a game 7. Carmelo Anthony with 27, and Westbrook with another triple-double. Tobias Harris with 17, 2 of 5 from 3, and then we got a game 7 on our hands. So let's see if we can win this game 7
On the road. It'll be hard, but we're on the road. Let's see if we can win. And game 7, I think we got this, man. 105 to 102. 29 points for Tobias Harris. 2 of 6 from 3. Russell Westbrook with another triple-double. A very high number triple-double. And Carmelo Anthony with 16. 16 for Steven Adams. So we're in the second round facing the Golden State Warriors. This is the series we wanted to see this year, but unfortunately we didn't get to see it. And we're up 2-1 on the Warriors. Up 3-1. Let's not blow a 3-1 lead like you guys did that one year. All right, sweet. No Kevin Durant leaving. Awesome. All right, so now we beat the Thunder in 5. We're facing the New Orleans Pelicans. This will be the first time I think I've reached the conference finals in an off-season predictions video, so that's pretty cool. We're up 2-2, and they're up 3-2. Let's see if we can force a game 7 again. We got to win it on the road again. And we, man, not even take care of home court. We do not, so we lose. Very sad showing by Tobias Harris and Carmelo Anthony and Drew Holiday and DeMarcus Cousins. And even Boban Marjanovic did good. Wow. All right. So, other than that, guys, let's go ahead and see who went the rest of the playoffs. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys think the Thunder are in total shambles, or you guys still think they have a chance to be okay? But thank you guys so much for watching. This is Crushables. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm saying peace.